these tire burglaries aren't only happening at one complex. Apartment managers tell me it's happening up and down Gate Parkway.
For hours, police searched for the armed robber by air and on the ground. Detectives say he was hiding in an apartment, and our cameras were rolling as they took this man into custody.
But riding over these cobbles feels more violent than vintage.
Marco Field on the west side is known as the Nest, but it's home to the Sweetwater Hawks.
1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000.
Here you have a place for kids to play, but also a place where city vehicles are parked.
Well, this is what's left of the wreckage here. I mean, take a look. This is the tail of the plane here, and you can see over here, cracked in half.
You can hear me fine just now, but imagine if I was using my cell phone to dial 911 to report a serious accident.
And I was having some interference issues. Imagine that conversation now. A serious accident, 2 cars on Deerwood Court. Send help immediately.
Was at Deerwood Circle, Drive, or Lane. None are close to each other.
From people running errands along Bay Meadows Road.
He's like, stop or I'll shoot.
To ladies inside a nail salon.
She said, oh my God, they shooting.
There were plenty of witnesses to a deadly shooting this afternoon.
And I literally saw the police officer like run up to the guy shooting him.
JSO got the call shortly after 3 o'clock. An armed man wearing a ski mask tried to rob a bank. When police arrived, JSO says an officer chased the suspect to a nearby Wendy's, where the suspect tried to carjack a woman waiting in the drive-thru.
The suspect yelled, "I'm going to kill you." The officer didn't know if he was referring to him or to the woman behind the wheel of the car. The officer fired his shotgun.
The car started rolling towards Bay Meadows Road, where JSO said more officers were waiting. They opened fire. Bullets shattered the windshield. The suspect was killed. It wasn't until the car stopped that they realized there were 2 small children inside. A little girl escaped unharmed. A 2-year-old boy was hit by a JSO bullet.
Look, when those officers came to work today, a couple of them were off duty. They were responding to a bank robbery in progress. None of them came to work this morning with the intention of harming an innocent member of this community, much less a 2-year-old little boy.
Witnesses are less forgiving, and now it's JSO that may come under fire.
Sure, cigarette butts look ugly, but did you know they actually take 10 years to disintegrate? Cigarette butts are all over downtown Jacksonville. People who work here are sick of looking at them.
It just gives me a sick feeling when I see them. And I like get angry when I see people throwing them out of cars and stuff like that. People emptying the entire ashtray on the street. I can't stand that.
This week, volunteers collected butts in 1 block downtown, 1 in Riverside and 1 in Avondale. They gathered 8,000 butts in just those few blocks. Harry Reagan is with Keep Jacksonville Beautiful.
We're trying to make the city more beautiful, and litter is one of the problems.
Next week, Reagan will put ashtrays out to encourage smokers to put their butts there.
This is our environment. This is where our children are being raised, and we need to keep it clean.
In a few weeks, volunteers will count the number of butts in these neighborhoods again to see if they've made a difference.
This is like with my DJ. I have to meet with him on Monday.
You can't blame Lee McLaughlin.
Planning a wedding is very stressful.
If she's a little high-strung these days. The bride-to-be is leaving town to finalize her wedding plans, and the schedule is full.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I have to be at the place to do the final walkthrough. Then immediately when that's done, I'm going to the florist to finalize the flowers. Then going to meet the liquor store, and then maybe swinging by the cake place.
The problem for Lee is where those appointments are, in Boston. The same place Earl is bearing down on.
I just can't plan around it.
And it's not just this JIA traveler that has an eye on Earl.
I'm hoping I can make it home tonight. I'm a little worried. I hope I don't get delayed.
Lee was a little worried Monday.
Like checklist galore.
Now it's panic time.
There's absolutely no way I could reschedule. I don't even think the people that I'm meeting tomorrow would talk to me again. This is in stone.
But with rings in hand, a wedding Bible splitting at the seams, and a storm showing no mercy for matrimony, this bride remains positive.
Really, could this happen at a worse time? And then I think about it. It could happen in 3 weeks, and that would be a totally worse time for the hurricane to hit Massachusetts, which is my wedding day.